Here we are again at my shooting bench, and I am the angry Gandalf of the precision rifle world, as my coworker has referred to me. And today we're going to be shooting this that I picked up off of the used rack. I mean, I guess you could kind of see a resemblance, you know, with the hood up. I mean, I guess I'll take it as a compliment. When I was buying that RF-15 for the last video, this thing was sitting there on the used rack, and like a little lost puppy, I couldn't help but drag this thing home. These Tikka CTRs are known for shooting extremely well. I've shot a handful of them over the years, and they've all performed pretty dang good. This one is a 20-inch barrel blued version. They do come in some stainless steels. They can get a 20 or a 24-inch barrel. But I believe that these things are now discontinued. When I picked this thing up, it did not have the scope or the rangefinder, the can, or the bipod on it, of course. It just had a VX Freedom, just a 4-12 scope on it, and the one singular magazine that came with it, and I got it for super cheap. I mean, sometimes people do get kind of scared of stuff that's on the rifle rack, and they're like, oh, you know, why is it sitting here in the used pile? You know, they worry about doesn't it shoot straight, whatever. But these Tikkas, they just tend to shoot. So I had a lot of faith bringing this thing home that it was going to work for me. So I couldn't resist it for the price that it was at. So in today's video, we're going to go ahead and we're going to shoot a variety of factory ammunition through this thing and see what it can do. I have already shot some of this American Gunner, the 140 grain boat tail hollow points through it to kind of get the scope somewhat centered up on there. So we'll be roughly in the ballpark of the center of the target here, hopefully just a little bit high so we don't blow the center out. But I figured, you know, why not try a little bit of cheap stuff? I got some premium, the gold medal, the Center Strike 140s. In the ELD-Ms, we got the 120 and the 140. I'm going to try the ELD, the VT, the 100 grainer out of it, and I have just a couple of the Deer Season XPs, so we might just well shoot a group with them and see if it likes them as well. We're going to do all the shooting first here, and then later in the video we'll go over some of the stats and the specs on the rifle itself. But let's go ahead, start out, we'll do 5-shot groups, and we'll start out with the American Gunner 140 grainer, since that's what I've kind of zeroed this up with a little bit. So, the 140 grains American Gunners. We got a little bit of heat distortion coming off the ground here today from all the rain that we've had. Now the sun finally coming out. So these might not be the best groups I've ever shot, but we'll go ahead and see what we can do. Got a little bit of heavy bolt lift to it. Ooh, that's real flat too. I'm surprised that didn't come out of the group. But next up, we got the 140 grain ELDM. Difference in those two. Check that can here a little bit. Yeah, that's still tight. Ooh, man, that one was a tough one. That one's got a bit of an ejector mark on it too. It's also fairly far to the left too. So that's not a great group. The American Gunners did better. While I'm sitting here waiting for this thing to cool down, I might as well mention a couple other guys that if you like the content that I'm doing here, this style of kind of reloading and shooting like this, then you'll probably like two other guys that I know. My buddy that I worked with, Jake, he's got a channel that he's just starting out and, you know, might be just a little bit rough behind the camera, but he's working on things, getting it better. His channel is Bruce Valley Ballistics. He also has one of these CTRs, so he's going to be doing a little bit of load development and working with his, so you'll kind of be able to see the variance between his and mine, you know, see if there's any consistencies between the two. On the other channel is Dave over at Saddle Up Shooting. Now, Dave's got quite a few different calibers that I don't have. So he's shooting stuff like 6.8 SPC2. I've shot 6.5 Grendel, but I don't have one, which he does. He's got the 300 hammer, but he also does some calibers like 25-06 and 270, some stuff like that. A lot of just general hunting calibers. So I'd appreciate it, and they'd appreciate it if you go on over, check out their channels. Now on to the 120 grain ELDMs. There we go, had a little bit of a misfeed there. See if we can get this last one stuck in that group too here. Yeah, not bad. Next up, we'll go ahead and shoot these 100 grain ELD VTs. I've only got 3 of these though, so be a little smaller group than usual. Those 3 aren't bad, but also not great either. But I bet with you with hand loads, they'd probably do better. Next up is the Federal Gold Medal 140 grain center strikes. The battery died there on the big camera, so I don't know how much of that got recorded or not, but at least we got it on the GoPro down there in front of the target. So next up, we'll go ahead and shoot these deer season 125 grainers. Light's fading fast, and I do have 6 of these, so figured no sense in leaving just one in the box. We might just might as well burn it up. So this one will be a 6-shot group, but we're gonna have to hurry. Ooh. Well, that is definitely the worst looking group of the day right there, but it's also not match grade ammo either, so. Well, since we are just about out of light here, I am going to go ahead and pack all this stuff up, and we will go inside back to the gun room, and we will talk over specs and stuff inside. Well, here we are back in the house with the CTR, and I measured up all the groups, and I will say that, I mean, we just barely squeaked underneath 1 MOA for all of the match rounds, you know, for 5 shots. I mean, the ELD VT, it was only a 3-shot group on there, but still, I mean, at that .560, doing pretty good. It's a good start to a decent group. So I would definitely say that, you know, this thing did pass the sub MOA test on it. I was hoping that maybe it would do a little bit better than that, you know, maybe print something down in the 4s here or there, but, you know, on me, I was rushing just a little bit. Had soccer games and dinner with the in-laws to go to, and then we were rushing to beat the light here, so a little bit of it might be on me, but I mean, the one group there, I think that that last shot definitely stretched it out. That was a hot round with those 140 ELDMs. I mean, when I had to lift this, I mean, that was some pretty heavy bolt left on there, and there was a big old ejector mark on that one, so that one was definitely pretty spicy. Let me go ahead and I'll give you some specs on this rifle here. Like I said before, this is the 20-inch barrel version of this. It does have a 1 1/8 twist barrel to it. 5/8 by 24 threads on the end, which we got the can screwed on here. You could get these in 24 inchers, stainless or blued like this. They do come with, from the factory, that pick rail that's on the top of there. But it is a 0 MOA rail, so if a guy really wants to stretch it out, which, I mean, this is only the 20-inch version for that matter, so, I mean, we're not getting top velocities out of it. So I think this 0 MOA will work, but, you know, other guys, if you get the 24, really trying to stretch it out there as far as you can get, you'll probably want to swap that out for like a 20 MOA or so. The magazine, which is a 10-round magazine, I know there are a whole lot of thoughts on those things back and forth. Some guys have had good luck with them. Other guys, you know, they've had some issues, which today I did have 2 times where it did slightly kind of screw up on me a little bit, but I don't know if that was operator error or just the magazine. We got to do a little bit more messing around and we'll find out about that. But I know these have been a point of contention for some guys on whether that's a good mag or not. So going back to it, I mean, these bolts and these Tikkas, almost all of them are pretty dang smooth. I mean, and you can see on this one, for buying this as a used rifle, the bolt itself barely has, you know, any marks on this thing. I don't know how much this has been shot, but I'm betting it is very, very little. So that's why, you know, when I seen this for the price, I had to bring this thing home because I knew this thing wasn't even close to burned up. So I might just as well be the one to do it. But again, the bolts on these, super smooth. I mean, almost nobody has any complaints about smoothness of a Tikka bolt. In fact, I almost don't like the ones that are fluted. I almost find that those bolts are less smooth than just the solid bolts. So that's part of the reason why, you know, I did pick this up. So if later down the road, if I'm going to rebarrel a Tikka Action, I want the solid bolts, not the fluted ones. Like I said, I think that they are smoother this way. The bolt release, I'll just flip this upside down. You've got the button right there on the side of the Action where you just press that in, bolt slips out. Your safety here, push forward to fire, rear is safe, you know, simple thumb safety on here. Your magazine release in here is a ambidextrous, just push forward, whoops, just push forward either side, you know, it drops cleanly from there. The trigger is adjustable. I did take this out of the stock, and I went ahead and there's a screw in there, a little screw, and I did back that out. So now this trigger pull on here, it is a single stage, and I'll say it's fairly consistent in there. I don't know how far down that is, but I'm guessing it's probably in there around 2.5 pounds or so, so not bad. But it is a little bit of a curved trigger. I do personally prefer some flat blades, so maybe that thing will get changed out in the future. The stock on here, now you don't have an adjustable cheek piece. There are a couple of shims that are not in here right now, but you can change that length just a little bit on here. Got one swivel stud in the rear, one swivel stud up front here that the bipod is on right now, this old Harris of mine. I guess I should also mention again that when I bought this, it did not come with any of this stuff. It was just a VX Freedom scope that was on top of here, so I did change all of that out as well. These rifles from the factory, they say that just bare rifle in the 20-inch configuration should be about 8.2 pounds. If you had the little bit longer 24-inch barrel, it should be 8.6 pounds. My original plan for today was to actually take this down to the big range and just go ahead and stretch this thing out with the American Gunner ammo and maybe some of the 140 grainers. But I didn't know that there was a rimfire match going on there today, so that plan kind of got thwarted, and that's why we ended up shooting groups at home instead. I was really hoping to stretch this thing out. But, being that it's a new rifle, I can't just let it sit here and not shoot the thing, or at least new to me, I should say. I can't just let it sit, so I had to take this thing out and shoot something out of it, so instead that's why we ended up shooting these groups. Like I said before, I was really hoping that maybe it would do a little bit better. I mean, not saying that this is bad, you know, especially the Winchesters. I mean, that's not match-grade ammunition, so I mean, I can't fault this thing for not shooting that stuff that well. I mean, for hunting ammunition, a 6-shot group of, you know, a little over 1.25 inches, I mean, not doing too bad. That's pretty typical hunting ammo, realistically. But the other stuff, the Federal Center Strikes, I think that they do real good. Them 140s, the plain boat tail hollow point, I mean, realistically, for cheap ammo, I mean, this thing ate that stuff pretty good. When I was sighting this in, I shot a couple of 5-shot groups pretty close to about the same thing, around half MOA, and that's where I was really hoping that the 140 grain ELDM was going to do even better. The 120 does show some promise. I might try to get some Berger 130s, but I don't have any of those, and I haven't seen any of them for a while. I end up trying to put those through this thing. I'm betting with some hand loads, I'm really hoping that maybe we can get it down to around a 0.4, and I'd be a little bit happier with the results on this thing. I mean, most of these Tikkas are capable of doing that, but you know, I guess we'll see here. You know, it's a whole other thing if it can do it, you know, and if I'm having a good day and I can do it. So, you know, hopefully I can make that work. Hopefully on the next video that I do with this thing, then we'll have a hand load all made up and we'll go ahead and, you know, take this thing down to the big range, get this Impact 4000 all zeroed up and really get this thing running. I bought this thing because I kind of want it to just be, you know, my main, you know, working rifle per se. You know, with a lot of barrel life on a 6.5 Creedmoor. I mean, much better than the 6 Creed that I really like, but man, they're just barrel burners. With this 6.5, this thing is just going to have a little bit better barrel life, and I'm not going to have to worry about burning it up and getting the barrel changed out so much on it, especially now since at work, my guy Rick Corporate made the call that, I mean, he's chambered me a handful of nice rifles, you know, done a really good job. They're all shooters, but they closed all of our gunsmithing spots. So now I currently don't have a guy to be changing out barrels, so I got to think a little bit more about barrel life on it, and that's why this thing is what it is. We're going to be shooting a little bit more of this one. You know, I'm just practicing for myself, you know, demonstrating other stuff, trying out other rounds, and doing a little bit more reloading and things, that I'm going to be using this rifle a whole lot more. Well, that'll about do it for today's video. If you like what you saw here, go ahead, give me a thumbs up. Maybe leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you think about this thing. And until next time, Angry Gandalf out.